Good afternoon. This is a recording on how you can troubleshoot your dispenser that's on the wall, the DEMA dispenser, or the autochlor dispenser, or the night dispenser. They all basically are made all the same way. They've done things differently through the years, but they all basically work the same function. You can take your meter, and the first thing you want to do is go in there and check the power coming into the box. You'll see you have a choice of 115, 208, or 220, and a common. You should have two wires coming from your dishwasher going to this power board, and that's the power basically that runs your entire dispenser. If you're tied to a low temp machine, most likely it's 115. You'll use the 115 as a power source. Sometimes ADS uses 115, sometimes they use 208 or 220. Whatever your power is in, you just read that. If you got 220 coming into the machine, to the dispenser, then you know your power is good. All this power that comes in goes directly to a transformer. Some dispensers only have one transformers, but most everyone's now switched to two. We at Direct Chem, we just use the ones that have two transformers. And what this does, it takes this power, whether it be 115, 208, or 220, and you can actually look on the transformer and it'll show you what wires you use for 115, 208, 220. For example, maybe the yellow and the white wire would be 115, the red and the blue, maybe 208. You have to look on the transformer itself to see which wires would go with what. Basically, if you wanted to, you could take your power line and run it right to the transformer if it's 208 and hook to those wires, but the power hub is a good way to keep things organized. Then once you get your power going to the transformer at 220 that you already verified up here, you go to the transformer, you measure it coming out. If it's coming out at 25 volts, your transformer is working fine. If your other transformer, which usually pumps your accessories such as your detergent, or your sanitizer pump, or your rinse aid pump, you go ahead and hook to over here. If it reads 25 volts, you've got good power going to your accessories. You can trace that power then down to some units use speed bars or speed boards that controls the speed of the rotation of the rinse pump, and that's usually left and right in the unit. One's for the sanitizer, one is for the rinse. You can go on here, if you got 25 volts going here, you know you got good power coming through your board to your speed board. Once from the speed board, you could either have it going out to like a prime button, or it can actually go down to your rinse pump here. If you measure here, you got 25 volts, you know you got good power going to your pump. If your pump's not spinning and you got voltage here, your pump is bad. If you got voltage here, and you have no voltage here, your speed board is bad. If you have power here and no power here, then no power here, you know your transformer is bad. That's how you can see what's working, what's not. Most units also use one transformer for their main computer board, another transformer for the accessories. It could be the detergent, the sanitizer pump, or the rinse aid pump, or the speed controls, or the prime buttons, but it's still all 25 volts. Signals coming from the dishwasher can come up from anywhere from 25 to 220 volts, can be put onto the signal side of the board. That's signal coming in. This tells the board that it's now, the dish machine is in rinse, and therefore you can hook to that, and that's enough to tell this thing to run for the amount of seconds you assign it. If sometimes you can hook up to 115, you can hook up to the 115 side of the rinse activator and use that as a control. Sometimes you have to go to the motor to hook up to 220 to get the detergent, because you want the motor to be running to get a detergent signal. So this could be anything from 220 to 25 volts. It's thin wire, but believe it or not, it only pulls 1 amp, so it's no problem. You can also come out here to see if you have a rinse signal coming out that controls your speed board. You can test it here to see if that's 25 volts. If you have 25 volts, the control board is good. Usually the probe is also attached to the control board, and you can actually measure the ohms on this probe to see if it's working. If you're getting no reading, you can change your probe and your board's fine. The probe costs $15, the control board costs $185. We suggest you always check your probe. Sometimes there could be metal on it. Sometimes there could be a high concentration that you don't know of detergent in there, and it's just not going to call for soap. Usually when they go bad just constantly calling for soap in like 24 hours a day. So usually you replace your probe first, and that tells the control board to kick on to give you 25 volts going to the detergent. Hope this helps you out some. These parts are interchangeable. Matter of fact, many different manufacturers use the same transformers that the other ones use. Some of the same pumps are the same, and they're interchangeable. So this is how you can troubleshoot to see. It's a very simple machine. It just tells the machine when you want the soap, you get the soap. When you want the rinse, you get the rinse. Hope that helps you out. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.